Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back as we are getting ready for our grand finals. And I'm joined by the man of the hour, Big Gabe. Done with the pizzas?
Done with the pizzas, yeah. I mean, I still have some leftovers for our two grand finalists if they're hungry afterwards, or you. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely take some more. We had the 3 slices earlier. Excellent as always. I am very happy, but I will not say no to a late night pizza by
I mean,
Gabe.
it depends if we have like the most epic grand finals. Maybe it's already too late. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I won't hold you to it. There's always a next time, Gabe. You're not that far away from me, so I can always come
Yeah, and
over.
I mean, in Cologne you can always get food anyway, so yeah. Not a big gay pizza, unfortunately, but...
Can't have it all at once. I ran into Dom, the Dominator. I'm sure you're very familiar with the Dominator.
He's sleeping in my apartment tonight with a friend.
He said...
I invited him.
He said we ran out of beer.
Yeah, apparently there's no more beer for us. I thought they had way more, but I think there's like an event tomorrow, so I think they're afraid that we drink all of it.
I mean, a couple of these Germans that go to all the home story cups as well, they know how to drink a beer.
Yeah.
All right, how do you feel about the day overall as we're just waiting? I think Clem and Reynor are pretty much ready, guys. They're probably going to do their vetoes. It's a best of 5. If Reynor wins it, we do a best of 3 afterwards for all the marbles. We're getting close to the end, Gabe. Your 3rd Big Gabriel Cup already here in Cologne. How do we look back at this one?
Yeah, I think everything went pretty much flawless. I mean, I've heard not many negative things. I've heard that some of the PCs there, they had like micro lags or whatever towards the end. That's a little bit annoying. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, I didn't see it, so I can't really judge how bad it really was, but that's obviously a little bit annoying if that kind of stuff happens. But besides that, I don't think there was any issues.
So we're feeling happy?
Yeah, it's well, I can't feel happy because I'm very exhausted.
Yeah, but it's still cool, right? You brought all these people together here in Cologne. Everyone has been having so much fun. For some people, like even if Starcraft is so old, it's always their first event, and it's always something special that they finally get to meet all the gamers that they've seen online for so many years. So I think you can be very proud of today, and I hope you feel that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do an aftermath video as well. Like, we're also gonna pay the players, by the way, like the next day. Like, I'm gonna ask the players for their PayPal tomorrow, and I'll send the money like straight away. That I think is a very big bonus as well, and that's all possible, at least for the prize money. Most of the other stuff is my own pocket, let's say. But like for the prize money, because people donated that. There have been a few outstanding donation. For example, nickname Vast, he's one American viewer. And his mother, for example, they both donated $1,000 each.
That's amazing.
Or rather, Vast, Dave, he donated 1,000, and then his mother donated 1,001. Just so she has more than him.
That's
and
so
I saw her in the chat, like his mother in the chat earlier as well. That's I think that's pretty sick. And then someone called Minivation, he donated $3,000 to the event. So these guys. 3 people basically donated the entire prize money, well, minus PayPal fees, but I cover that. Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to use this event as a little bit of Kickstarter. If they are ready, by the way, exactly, they can start. I wanted to use this as like a little bit of a Kickstarter to potentially host more events that might be profitable for me as well, because I can't always host these events and like make a big minus. That is not really profitable. I could do that as a Kickstarter, but yeah, I mean, I want to use it as a Kickstarter and then see if people are willing to support more in the future. And I think, I think everybody else involved here delivered. The players, the casters, the people that showed up, like that's the most important thing, that actually people show up. That's the purpose of an offline event. And I think for the viewers, it was a great experience online as well.
There's been quite a few people in the chat wondering how they can support you. How can they support the Big Gabe Cup? What's the best way to go about that?
We can show it quickly on my stream. You can just hop over to my stream. By the way, it's still running. You can see the pizza bar over there, but there's nothing happening right now. I just the stream is basically online to promote your stream, so people know where to watch my tournament. So if you scroll down, there's that banner, the Big Gabe XPERIONCRAFT, and that's a donation link to Streamlabs, we don't have an overlay here, but yeah, if you wanna donate anything so that I don't make a big minus, I'm fine to take that. That's what I mean. Like, I take that risk for like the first big event like that, and then make it more profitable in the future. I can definitely put that money into good use for the future, and I will make an aftermath video as well. Then you can see like how much I spent, how much I got, and whatever. Anyone that wants to still support, yeah, it's very much appreciated. The donation link will be there the next days and weeks as well. Yeah.
All right, so twitch.tv/HeroMarine,
or you
click
can
on the
also
big
just link
Experion banner.
you can link if you want to the Streamlabs thing.
But the game is already, Gabe. Let's go ahead and talk a little TVZ, and then obviously we'll go over all of it more towards the end. And let's go in-game with cams. We have the right cam for Reynor, but Reynor needs to be red, so Reynor is going to be red, and then we're going to find Clem. There he is. Let's do it, Big Gabe. Your grand finals, a best of 5 into potentially a bonus best of 3. If our lower bracket player Reynor does end up winning it. In the bottom right side, we're looking at the main base of the man who won the first edition ever of the Big Gabe Cup 3 years ago or something like that.
2 years ago.
2 years ago only? Okay, well, it was longer than that.
Yeah.
This is Team Liquids Clem. They're done eating pizza and they are ready to clap, Gabe.
And on the other side of the map, we have the red Zerg player from Italy. It's Reynor. Man, that's, I think, the grand final that everybody expected, but also that everybody really wants to see, right?
Yeah. It's the grand finals that maybe a lot of people would have filled in the beginning of the day, but it wasn't smooth sailing, especially not for Reynor. Down 0-1 against Christianer, in so much trouble in Game 2, like an impossible game to win in the eyes of many diehard Starcraft fans. And in Game 3, things honestly looked a little bit dicey and shaky as well, but in the end, he got it done. Did fall to the lower bracket after losing the upper bracket finals to his friend and rival Clem. And then made short work of Lambo with a very cheeky, gnarly build in Game 2 on this map, Ruby Rock. I don't think they played Ruby Rock the first time around, actually, now that I think about it, unless I completely forgot about it. But there were a couple of really good games. I know you're busy making pizza for everyone here, Gabe, but how much did you catch of the original upper bracket finals?
Not much.
Okay, the games were good. Like,
yeah, I mean, we casted the first one, but then I'm back into making pizza again.
Okay.
Basically, I've like, people took some footage so I can see afterwards, but like I haven't collected many impressions from this event because I was very busy.
But in a very good way.
Yeah.
You always look very happy when you make pizza for everyone, Gabe. I see you smile so much. You smile way more than when you're laddering and you play TVP for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, why could that be the case, man? I really wonder.
Is it every Protoss or is it just the barcodes?
Everyone.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, who doesn't get mad when they play video games? So.
Fair point. We've got a couple of Hellions on the way for Clem as Reynor, as I was talking a little bit about the upper bracket finals. Reynor felt quite okay about his performance. He's like, I actually think I played pretty good. Like, I was very far behind in most of the games, but I really think I made some good moves. And he feels that if he can clean up the early game, if you can keep the queens alive, not fall behind economically, that there's a lot to be hopeful for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it goes a lot against someone like Clem. If you don't take any damage, because of like how Terran Economy works, and it's like as long as you defend, you're actually in a nice position, and you can manage Clem very well in that case. Kind of like the first game between them in the last series, that kind of went that way. It was a little bit scrappy, but yeah, eventually Reynor was able to overwhelm Clem.
For the first time in these games, at least in the TVZs that we've seen out of Clem, Clem is opening up with the Raven. I see that not too often. Obviously, it's nothing that we've never seen before, but how do you like the Raven in TVZ on this level?
I mean, it's fine, but it's like, if you do that, for example, every game, like, you would die to any Roach all in this case, but it's like how you do it. If you're like the Terran that really does it like all the time, it's definitely not good. But if you do it like once in like 10 games, then sure, like it's like it's not that big of a difference whether you make a Raven or a Banshee. Like, they both have advantages and disadvantages. The Raven, for example, like, it can deny some more creep, but like not much. You probably use it more for harassment here as well. But like, you obviously can't really get anything done.
Ooh, Reynor needs to be careful here with the queens, as the queens are pretty far out, but Clem does not want to make this dive. Very good defense against the first auto turret. Reynor so far only losing a single Zergling. I see we've got the Todd in the chat.
Pizzas, I've already made more than 100 pizzas today.
Yeah, did you have a way to keep track, or you just know that it's over 100?
I know how much like flour I used, and there's still like some left over, so I can estimate how much it was in the end.
I want to get the ultimate breakdown in the end of how many pizzas were delivered today to all the gamers.
Yeah, I can count afterwards.
That would
my brain doesn't have the energy right now to do that.
All good, that's a bang tweet. Reynor snipes the Raven from downtown with these 3 queens. That is obviously an excellent pickup. So Clem getting incredibly little value of his Raven. I was going to ask you, Gabe, as there is one queen that is going to fall. Reynor is already gearing up for a massive counter, hoping that Clem left the door open. Clem has a couple of Marines, but Stim is not done yet, and Reynor is going to get the wraparound. This is going to hurt for Clem.
That's actually a pretty sick move by Reynor to just go for the counter attack and let like the queen die. But like this is like tremendous damage, and I don't think a Terran can really recover from that.
Clem has very little firepower. Finally, the Hellions have made it home. A couple of SCVs are still very low on HP. It's a lot of lost mining time. This is a crazy amount of direct and indirect damage, as Clem finally deals with all these Zerglings. But Reynor comes out of this with a 23 worker lead. As you guys can see, he's severely outmining Clem now as well. Reynor felt that it was going to happen eventually, that instead of a bad start and playing from behind, he would have a good start too. And from there on out, he could really shine. Well, this is that good start, Gabe.
That's an amazing start. Like, you're not supposed to get any damage done against Terran. And, I mean, he killed 20 workers. And even, like, he killed 20 workers while trading somewhat even. That's, like, the best case ever. It's still Clem, though. If anyone can bring this back with a couple Banelink snipes, it's probably going to be Clem.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have Banelings too early, though. Reynor has already got Hive Tech on the way before he has even dropped the Baneling nest. So it seems like Reynor might just be gearing up for some good old Link, Queen, Infestor, and then eventually we'll get a few Ultras out with Kindness Plating. And since Clem took so much economic damage, it's going to be really hard for Clem to get either a bunch of Ghosts or Liberators out early to deal with those Ultras.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you deal this much damage, this style of Reynor is probably even like better than going Banelings. I mean, it's a little bit risky, but I don't think it's like that risky, because you can also play it without being this far ahead in the game. So in this case, it's like really hard for Clem to punish it, and he's gonna have to play against Ultras before he even has a barracks with tech labs. So no possibility to make any Marauders, which really sucks. And he might just die to an attack.
Yeah, definitely not to this one though, as Clem has more than enough firepower to deal with a couple of links. It is important for Reynor that he doesn't get too carried away. Like, yes, he's in an amazing spot, but this is still going to be a difficult 90 seconds before that first Ultra is out, before we have Kindness Plating. And Clem actually has a somewhat serious army. Clem does want to keep a couple of units at home, 4 Hellions that can morph into Hellbats. Reynor needs to be a tiny bit cautious. The Infestor count is 2, Link count is now back up to 51. Might end up losing the Overlord here. It's not going to supply block Reynor immediately, but we're getting closer to it. That last counter wasn't quite it. I still think Reynor is in an amazing position and he should be fine. But he might have to slow it down a tiny bit until the powerful units come online.
And we're actually getting Blue Flame and Hellbats. So Clem realizes that there are no Banelings, so he's getting pretty much the perfect counter to Zerglings, and like defending this is like impossible without Banelings. Even Fungal, like Fungal doesn't deal very much damage, so he has to give up that base. Ultras are actually still kind of far away.
Yeah, we don't have a single one on the way yet. We don't have Kindness Plating on the way. Clem is unloading in the corner of the main base. Reynor does have not a ginormous counter, but Clem left a couple of Hellbats behind. They don't quite have Blue Flame yet, but they're only seconds away from it. Reynor is going to get cleaned up here eventually, but he's doing some decent damage. Clem's army is still here though. We're looking for a fungal. Reynor gets a decent first fungal, a very decent second fungal, and a great third fungal. But where is the damage? Where is Reynor's army? He's got 4 Ultras on the way. Kindness Plating 30% done. Losing the bottom left side base is a bit painful. Losing the base at 9 o'clock as well could be very problematic.
Yeah, but Ultras are on the way. We have Liberators, which is the only counter right now for Clem against the Ultras. So I think this is gonna really come down to the Ultralist timing. That one is not gonna go down, it's really important. Like Clem he's still not in a great spot because he actually doesn't have a 4th base, I believe. And without a 4th base, you're not really at an advantageous position right now. There's also the Spire on the way to counter the Liberators potentially.
Clem playing 5 racks, double factory, single starport, triple CC. He's building a 4th base now, just as you mentioned it. He's going to build it between these bases. Obviously, Clem doing a great job at turning this around. That perhaps the Banelings would have been a much safer choice for Reynor, as there is a Liberator here, and we're going to drop Hellbat on top of the Queen. It would be important for Clem to maybe gun down that Queen, but there is another one in the mix. It's going to be annoying for Reynor, but he should be able to deal with this eventually. And obviously now these upgrades are online. I'm surprised, by the way, that Clem, in the end, I think he could have killed this Evolution Chamber as well.
Yeah, but these are like things that are very hard to keep track of when you're playing the game. It's like very hectic, and he might not just, like, he might have looked at that Evo but not realize it's there. It's like one of these things. So very stressful here.
Great spot for the Hellbats, but obviously with the Lings and the Ultras, Reynor should be okay. Clem is doing a very good job in keeping Reynor busy. Reynor is just trying to re-establish some of those bases that he lost, the base at 9 o'clock and the one on the left side. Has a bunch of Lings ready. These are pretty feisty Lings, +2 melee, +2 carapace, adrenal glands done. Yeah, cool adjustment by Clem, given the position that he was in, going for this double factory blue flame Hellbat. Doesn't really matter how many Zerglings you have at that point. That's not something you really attack into.
Yeah, I mean, for Hellbats you need Banelings, obviously. It's like the easiest counter ever, because split is like against Zealots basically. Like splitting Zealots against Banelings, if you split them in an A move, they just clump up again, run in again. It's not really possible, so if you have like 10 Hellbats and the other guy just has Banelings, they are like useless, that's why no Terran builds them. But if there's no Banelings, they are like the best unit.
Clem has a pretty terrifying arm. He's got 22 Hellbats. Oh my goodness.
That's insane, actually.
I don't think I've seen this in forever in a professional TVZ. This command center could still be cancelled from going into a planetary, and that was important because that actually allowed Clem to save it. Reynor does fire up a couple of Corruptors. Reynor's drone count is obviously higher than Clem's CV count, but it's not an insane drone count. So Reynor does really need to be very cautious. Clem leaves with his army. Reynor is back immediately with more Zerglings. Going to town on these SCVs. Might get a cancel on the 5th if he goes for it. And at the same time, we've got a bunch of Lings in the 3rd as well. Reynor doing Reynor things as he's everywhere with his Zerglings.
And yeah, Hellbats are actually pretty bad because they just can't keep track of this.
Oh, but what is this army? I mean, Uthermal's taking notes right now. He's like, this is content for my next video. I don't know how we're going to pull it off, but that is a serious amount of helmet. Imagine if you haven't watched TVZ in a while, you're like, ah, cool, Big Gabe Cup is on, let's open a game. You look at his own, he's like, is this the meta, guys? It's like, no, it's not. But we do have a bunch of Liberators in the mix, 4 of them in total. Corruptors are going to try to gun them down. First one does fall. Reynor continues with his counterattacks. He is relentless, but this is the fight that matters as Reynor lands a fungal. And the Lips are keeping the main army safe.
Yeah, I mean, the Liberators are once again the only thing that really holds Reynor back from A-moving Clem, let's say. Corruptors are ready now though, so now he can take them on, and I mean, they're Banelings, so these Hellbats are just gonna die so badly.
22 Hellbats is gonna turn into close to 0 Hellbats real quick. Banelings do get sniped by all those buy units, but the Ultras have gone ham on the Hellbats. 3 of them in the end survived. Supplies actually pretty freaking dead even, and only a single Infestor remaining for Reynor, who's still down 35 army supply against 3-3 bio. It is a bit overstimmed. We don't have the energy upgrade, Caduceus reactor for the Medivacs, so it is not. Clem could really use that in a game like this with this much bio and the Hellbats. I think that Medivac upgrade would have gone a long way.
You could try and work towards that, but I think he's just trying to get more units out. It's kind of a hard decision to make because it's also taking some time until you have that upgrade. I think for him it's still the best choice to like mass produce units, and he has to win the game soon.
Still building Hellbats. No ghost. Well, you have a Ghost Academy actually, but there is no ghost inside. 0 ghosts have been produced. No ghost out on the map. Clem down to 41 SCV as he loads up 2 pretty low HP Medivacs. And they have a mixture of just Marauders and Marines. Mostly Marauders, to be fair. Reynor is thinking about taking one of these center bases. I would really love it if Reynor would add a Viper or 2 against this many Medivacs. Like, there's 13 Medivacs on top of each other, and there's a good chance there's a few more Liberators showing up. I just love having 1 or 2 Vipers drop the Parabomb. Even if the split is perfect, you're gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, Vipers, you can just say they're always good if the other guy doesn't have Ghost, they're always good. Like, you can always get out, you can always Parabomb, which is always amazing.
And Clem is obviously goated in finding the one unit that is affected by the power bomb and splitting it off. But when you have this many medevacs and they're so clumped up, even the perfect split is going to do a lot of damage to your army. And I would have loved to see Reynor do that, but Reynor may be feeling that he was a little low on gas and preferring to put that gas in Banelings. We don't have Burrow this time, so there are no burrowed Banelings to look forward to. Reynor obviously happy about the fact that he's maxed out. It's not the sexiest Zerg army of all time. It's like 84 Lings, 23 Banes, 9 Corruptors, 6 Ultras and an Infestor. But it is good against the Terran army without any Ghost.
Yeah. And this like really the shittiest army I've seen in a while, but there's like a lot of Marauders, they're Ultras, so I mean, that kind of works.
The Fungo is always going to connect with a lot of units. Second Fungo immediately. Banelings coming as well. And all these Ultras are still so high on HP. It feels like Clem's army is just not good enough to take these fights. Reynor is going to temporarily disengage and Clem is going to work on this hatch. But Ultras can honestly fight this. They can absolutely save this hatch. I guess Reynor just wants to make sure he doesn't get kited into oblivion because we know how good Clem is. And I guess that's the problem. We only have one Infestor. There was no follow-up Fungo. One Ultra does get picked off there. Clem has floated over an Orbital. Wonder where that Orbital came from.
He made a 5th base at his 4th and made that an Orbital because he could use money and couldn't take another base yet. So he just made an Orbital and now it's this one.
There are a couple of Corruptors in the mix. 2 medevacs get picked off immediately. Clem having a very tough time battling these Ultras. Marauders are putting in work though. We don't live that Orbital, so Reynor gets the kill on the Orbital command. Still is picking up SCVs as well. It is another hectic, chaotic game between Reynor and Clem, where Reynor is far from a maxed out Zerg with a bunch of money in the bank, but it does feel that he has done a crippling amount of damage against Clem, who's just going to have such a difficult time building anything other than Marines, Marauders, maybe a few Hellbats. Perhaps that's not a problem, Gabe.
I think the game is pretty much done if like Clem doesn't kill Reynor anytime soon, because Reynor has now the setup. He's back to 6 bases, and we're mining a lot of money. We don't have a lot of army supply compared to Clem's, so maybe Clem with another push could do something, but he really needs to do something now. Like the more Reynor mines it, the worse for Clem.
And Clem's Planetary is actually in a lot of danger as well, as these Corruptors will deal a crazy amount of damage. Repair is good, but can we out-repair all these Corruptors? It is going to be a close call, as we do have a potential big fight. It seems like on the minimap, the Planetary has died against those Corruptors. Reynor is going to battle with the Ultras. We land the Fungo. Clem still has more army supply and is also dealing some economic damage in the bottom right side, but all of Clem's SCVs are in trouble. And as you said, Reynor is getting a better army as well. 1 Infestor has now turned into 4 Infestors, and that's gonna go a long way.
Yeah, he did lose a base, but we still have 2 more, and because of this Corruptor snipe, I think now it's like really bad for Clem. Even if he kills that base, it's not enough. He's still mining way less than his opponent.
He is gonna get it, and he does have a couple of extra Blue Flame Hellbats showing up to help out all these bio units. I mean, Clem has done an amazing job in getting these slow Hellbats to still participate in most of the fights, and I think that's often the biggest problem, right? It's like, yeah, Hellbats are good in a fight, but they're so slow and they're hard to get into the right position. Clem's done a great job with those slow units.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised how well he's managing in the game, because like his army always looks so weak compared to like what tech Reynor has available to him, and he still manages to trade somewhat good here.
Shout out to the Ghost Academy. Been working hard.
But it's not the type of Ghost game for sure.
We just didn't have Ghost money. I think if we ever had Ghost money, we would have absolutely loved a few Ghosts, but Clem has been struggling for cash for a long time. It is impressive how Clem has turned this into one hell of a game. Just how Reynor looked good in some of those games that he lost in the upper bracket final. It is Clem who looks damn good in a game where he fell really far behind early on. He made Reynor work for it, and it's still close, but it does feel as Reynor's army is a little bit too powerful. These Ultras, there isn't a direct answer, and every single time Clem moves out, he loses more and more SCVs, and he's down to 10. Reynor needs to be careful that we don't misclick this army. Pathing has lost video gamers a lot of MMR throughout history.
Yeah, and on these maps of like the rocks and whatever nowadays, it's like sometimes I feel like nowadays it happens way more often that because of pathing you sort of misclick your army and then you didn't realize.
This could be our final fight as Clem is down to 10 SCVs, but Clem still has a big army. Reynor still needs to be a tiny bit cautious on how he goes about it, but he lands a couple of big fungals. Reynor likes what he sees, and he's going to push these Ultras through the side blocker, get on top of the Marines, get on top of the Marauders, and believe that he's dealing with the tiny counter drop as well. and Reynor's supply is not falling. Meanwhile, Clem is pulling a bit of a musti here with his final units, but GG gets called. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead after a great first game on the Ruby Rock, where, yeah, it's a bit of an opposite story of the upper bracket finals, where Reynor lost, but he fell far behind and he looked damn good. Clem lost this one, but he still looked really good in the game he lost.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't build Ghost, but because he didn't build Ghost, he actually still managed to nearly come back into this game. And also, I mean, that's like the thing about Clem, like he always spends his money very efficiently. So like, Clem is always the guy to look like, okay, what's the best unit to get now? And it clearly was the right choice what he did. Maybe he made too many habits, I'm like not sure about that, but these are like things that you can't be like that precise. But him like cutting Ghost and making like a large Marauder Hellbat army, it's actually pretty sick. I think if he went Widow Mines, this would have been like way easier for Reynor.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning with like mass circling and stuff.
Just with the sheer amount of units that Reynor had.
Like maybe later on and with Banelings and stuff, like Widow Mines I think are definitely better. But in the beginning there with the Hellbats, I think that was a pretty cool play. I don't think it was like negative, so I don't think it was worse than Widow Mines. I think it was equal, if not better.
By the way, your prediction was so spot on. I kind of forgot about it, but it was around like 9:30 when we started this grand finals.
Yeah, I mean...
Last time you were also really sharp during the second edition of the Big Gabe Cup. You kind of nailed it all as well. Is it possible to run esports events on time, Gabe?
Yeah, potentially.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did they keep the same color, or do I have to? Yeah, they did keep the same color.
I do have to stick to somewhat of a schedule because we have to reset best of 3. So obviously this could go on for very long, so we need to have enough time left in the end.
Which I think a lot of gamers on the internet would thoroughly enjoy. I think a lot of people here in the building would absolutely enjoy a banger of best of 5. And I think at this point, after you made 100 pizzas, I think you're in for a long one as well.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Top right side, the champ of the first edition of the Big Gabe XPERIONCRAFT Cup here in the beautiful Experian in Cologne. And of course, the world champ of 2024, Team Liquid's Clem.
And then I feel like a little bit of a fan favorite because, I mean, I always cheer for underdogs as well, but not necessarily because he's weaker than Clem, but because he has to go through the lower bracket disadvantage. It is Reynor. Winning the first map obviously feels really good for him. Yeah.
Very busy month for both of these guys, as in 3 days, Reynor and Clem will be flying over to China to compete in a big offline event in Hangzhou. And just 2 weeks after that, we've got the Home Story Cup 28 already in Krefeld. I assume we're going to be there, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm going to play there. This is a nice warm-up cup. You know, that's always what I want to do as well. I'm not looking to necessarily produce like the biggest, like most prize money event or whatever. I mean, Home Story Cup nowadays, it's like also it's like a 10K event. It's more like to bring the people together. I think this event, especially because like it's obviously hard to get Koreans if you only host like a 5K event. I think this event is a pretty good warm-up. It's always nice to play offline, get used to it, especially after a little bit of a break. For some of them, Clem was in Canada. I don't think Reynor was in the RSL, but that's like a little bit of a different setup, I want to say, because it's in Korea against the Koreans.
It's been a while for even these guys that have been very good friends with each other, despite the fact that they're competing for prize money and they're playing on different teams. Like all of them have been very friendly with each other. They're in touch very often and through Discord or just on Battle.net. It's always nice for these guys to see each other as well, because it's been a while. It doesn't happen as often in the past. But I do think, Gabe, I love your event. I think it's a lot more than a warm-up, mate. I think it's an event to be very proud of. Everyone here is everyone is having a great time. I don't see this as a warm-up at all. I just saw this as one of the 3 awesome events that we're going to go to. And it's been a long day, but I've had so much fun. It's just great to see everyone.
I mean, I'm also looking to improve it, and if you make it too big the first couple times, you have no way to improve the next time, so gotta leave some room, and then eventually we have the best Starcraft 2 tournament ever, potentially.
As we take a little look, by the way, Clem adding a second Rex early on here, so this is something that I'm sure that you can
That's a signature opening from Clem, like that's like the Clem signature. But I can tell you why he does that. It's because, like, at least personally, I like to do that. So Clem does his opening from time to time for no reason, just like as a build or rotation, but I think he does it because of 2 base Zerg.
All right.
Yeah, 2-base Zerg means either like roach-based play or like Spire. And Fastim with Medivacs is good against both, basically, with triple CC.
So it's just kind of adjusting to what he sees or what he feels like is happening on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident to say that indeed the case here.
Yeah. So it's good to have it in your repertoire and bust it out every now and then, but it's also excellent in this exact situation where he obviously saw that Reynor stayed on 2 bases, most likely went for a very quick lair.
It's like difficult because he still needs to figure out like what exactly is it? Is it going to be a Spire Rush? Is it going to be some Nidus? Is it going to be just save roaches? Like Elasa, for example, does some very based or efficient roach 2-base, like Ravager pushes with like quick road speed or something like that. So if Clem figures it out, this opening will always put you in an amazing position as a Terran.
Yeah. Reynor is potentially going to have a tough time dealing with the first move out of Clem, where Clem is going to have a bunch of firepower. Even drops the armory, so there is
That's really good.
Yeah, that's going to be very dicey for Reynor. Reynor right now has no Roach Warren, has no Bailing Nest. This is going to be tough. Before this attack happens, Gabe, one question that I've seen appear a couple of times throughout the day is why is this a one-day event? Why do you choose to make it a one-day event?
Well, when I first announced the event, I didn't expect it to be this big in the first place. Like I first announced it as a $1,000 event, see what we can collect with donations. And then because of the support of the people, we did collect enough donations, and based on what we collected now, we could potentially make it like a 2-day event the next time. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's one way, for example, to improve the tournament, to make it multiple days. But yeah, for this one, it's like basically just a one-day event where everybody's grinding, basically.
A little marathon. Well, we have the Hellbats here off Clem. Reynor has a couple of links on the other side of the map, which means he's got even less units here. He's going to try to get a Spine Crawler up, but this Spine will not finish up in time. It doesn't get cancelled. Reynor is going to have to micro his heart out here with the Queens. One Queen is taking a lot of damage immediately. I'm not certain what the links are achieving on the other side of the map. Nice engagement by Reynor with one Queen and a couple of links coming in from the bottom. And all those Queens, he gets the Medevac, and that is the start to potentially holding this, but there are still a lot of drones that are in an awful spot.
And Clem, at the same time, like he's not committed. We are making upgrades, we're getting enough workers, we had a worker advantage, and look at the money. Reynor had to spend a lot of his minerals on Zerglings and lava. So, because he doesn't have that lava and money anymore, you can't really make mutas run. Like we need drones, but we also need mutas. We can't really make both. While Clem can kind of make everything that he needs. He can make workers while producing army. He's at an advantage at workers. Supplies even, which is a good sign. His upgrades are on the way, which is like an amazing sign. And he knows exactly what's up.
I would be obviously loving it if this eventually turns into a 2-day event where maybe slightly shorter day or more chances for the players. There is one downside, and that is that people are obviously often forced to stay overnight, and that means that they also all have to get a hotel, and they can't just like hop in for a couple hours, play some games,
and go home again. That's my main idea.
Again.
Like renting the venue for another day as well. It's like, let's say complicated, expensive, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
But so the experience got to be pretty happy with the amount of people you're bringing to that building.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I think we're all they're happy as a team partner here of the event.
I'm very happy to hear that. Reynor did manage to get a 13 Basilisk out, and that obviously meant that he was not droning for a while. He's now going to go back into a round of drones, or perhaps a couple of rounds. We don't have an Overseer here, and that means the Widowmine will get a shot off. And that is one dead Muda. I am a bit worried. After that attack, Clem was temporarily stuck on just like 6 Marines and a medevac. But as you said, it's okay, because Clem can still spend his money on all the things he wants to spend on, and he doesn't really need to do more on the other side of the map immediately. He can just kind of macro up and then eventually move out with a terrifying army.
Yeah, like he bought a lot of time with that Hellbat push. Even if it didn't do like crazy damage, he like bought so much time. Like our setup here for like the Terran is like so amazing. We have good upgrades, we have like enough turrets, we have good supply. He's just chilling until he's like 2-2. Maybe he's gonna attack soon if he feels like he's stabilized enough. It's a really nice spot.
Marines very far away from a medevac. Could have been dangerous if there were some links nearby, but there weren't. Reynor is just doing his best here to keep Clem on his side of the map. That Widowmine is going to fire again, or it's a Neo mine. Clem also loves heading in the early Thor against this style. Obviously a very tanky unit. It's good against the Muras as well. Can help out defensively. It's good in the all-out brawl. Reynor does not have a burrow, so we're going to have to do it in a straight-up fight. Fires up burrow now. He's going to try to buy some more time with the Muras, but I don't think Clem is having any of it, Gabe.
Yeah, but I think it's fine. Like the Mutas might be able to get a cancel. That could be annoying. But especially Clem is like very good at handling multiple things. His supply is looking amazing as well. They did not get the base. So yeah, I mean, I think Clem, with the upgrade advantage as well, like he's still feeling very comfortable.
There's a Widowmine there near the refinery. Reynor did not have an overseer with this Muta squad. For the longest time, turned around, tried to get the medevac. If Reynor would have been able to snipe that medevac mid-air while carrying the Thor, that would have been a massive W. Reynor is at least buying time, but
it's so bad. Like the creep spread, the upgrades, the Muta's not really finding any damage.
No, it's been very tough for the relatively small group of Mutalists to find anywhere near as much damage as they found in that game in Tourmaline, for instance. Definitely good activity out of the Mutas. Unfortunately, Reynor just doesn't quite have the firepower in this squad to make things very complicated for Clem. Sometimes annoying, sure, but not a whole lot more than a mosquito that's flying around. It's like, well...
Yeah, and he's also making a transition into Hydras, in fact. But like he's very far away from being dangerous. Like what is dangerous here? Well, if he gets Hive Tech and Lurkers, that's really dangerous. But I don't think really Clem cares so much about Hydras, because he has 2-2 against 1-1 soon. And if you have 2-2 against 1-1, it doesn't matter if you have like Widowmines and Thors in your army against Hydras. The Bio's just gonna wreck everything.
Burrow is done, and we did already have a few massive Burrow landmines on with the Banelings. Perhaps Reynor can pull that one off one more time. Clem is hoping to intercept these Mutas. That is very cool marine movement, but now he's going to give Reynor the heads up that his army is here, and Reynor can readjust the way that those Mutas were trying to get home. There are Hydras here in the mix. Clem obviously not expecting that. Otherwise you wouldn't pick up like that, but he's not quite going to fly over it. Reynor's going to have to cancel his base. I don't think there is a way, but Reynor seems to think that he wants to try. And he is going to try. Widowmines will not get any shots up. The Baneling count is decent. Hydras are doing their best, but Reynor just doesn't have the damage. Tried to burrow a couple of mines there, but Clem saw it this time around. Managed to throw down a scan. Reynor did have good defense against the double drop, but loses that fight and loses the base.
Yeah, it's not bad, but we're still very far away from Lurkers, and the creep is also not really great. So like, what can you really do? Like, how can you take a fight that brings you back into the game? How can you buy enough time for the Lurkers to come out? And right now I'm not really seeing it, and even if the Lurkers do come out, like Clem has already seen the Hydra, so you can just add the Ghost Academy, and this is a Ghost game, 100%. If this goes longer, this is a Ghost game, and it will not go so well for Reynor if he doesn't find some real damage before a lot of goes out.
I wonder if Clem saw that, maybe caught a glimpse of it with his Widowmine. There's a big army coming. Clem might see some Zerg units appear elsewhere. Clem is not aware of these Banelings. Reynor activates them, both of them at the same time. Decent connections there. Widowmines get picked off as well. This is about as good of a start to a fight as Reynor could ever hope for. He's got Lurkers in the mix. Clem is just going to stim in these Lurkers with no respect for these Lurkers at all. Guns down quite a few of them. Now Reynor, his main forces show up. There's another fight happening near the natural Reynor. Great pickups there by Clem on these incredibly expensive units. It seems like Reynor dealt with this. Still the Mutas putting in some work defensively. Great defensive fight by Reynor. Reynor is starting to at least look like he's alive in this game, Gabe.
The Hydras really seem to work out, yeah. I mean, this is a large map. Keep that in mind as well. So a lot of these attacks for Clem, it's like, if there's a way to come back as a Zerg, it's like a map like this. So even though he was behind, he had enough of a defender's advantage, and the Hydras, they seem to do something. Like the Thors seem to be very useless, and even the Widowmines, they don't really get anything.
No, Reynor keeps on jumping on the army before the Widowmines manage to burrow, and he's able to pick off most of them. We have seen very few big Widowmine connections in this game. And Clem has already lost 11 Widowmines up to this point. A couple of them on the Mutas, but often just an individual Muta. Reynor has a Nidus network, and the Muta is obviously great in providing some vision, and they can even deal with one or two units. It will be interesting to follow Clem's camera for a little bit, just to see if Clem is going to be all over this first Nidus attempt. So we are right now following Clem, who's dropping a little mine at the barrow. This is going to be really quick. The Nidus is important. Does he have vision of the corner? Is there a Nidus there? There is no Nidus yet.
I feel like he does have a little bit of a lurker timing here. There it comes.
Ghost count is 8. Lurkers have their seismic spines. Are getting some really big shots off. Clem is still stimming in. Clem really believes in the power of his bio army, and he's kind of getting away with it. A lot of low HP units, but Clem cleans up all those Lurkers. That went better for Clem than I thought it would, running into that many Lurkers.
Good arc for him there. I feel like Reynor also, some of his army went in very deep way too quickly because the lurkers were not able to shoot. And that was a good fight, even though he did not have 3-3. It's kind of... Clem is very good at these fights as well.
Reynor does have adaptive talents now, 2 more lurkers on the way. Do we have a couple of these mutas left? I think just keeping a few mutas around for that potential Nidus and then picking off a few Marines that normally is barely enough DPS for the Terran could allow Reynor to get a Nidus online in the main base. We saw it earlier in the PvZ, how devastating that can be and how quickly it can turn a game around. Pretty powerful army here for Clem. Lots of Widow Mines in the mix. This time we should get a few big Widow Mine shots. Those are not bad. That one is not bad, but Reynor continues to go. And we have a Nidus coming online in the main base. There's only a Widow Mine. No bio making their way over. Will the lurkers come out, Gabe? This is massive.
Oh my god, this could be a way for Reynor to do it. How many units are there?
It's a decent amount of mine. I would love to see the mutas help out. Every little bit of DPS, one Widow Mine is able to get a shot off on the lurker. The other lurker does not burrow, and Clem deals with that about as good as he ever could have. If he's half a second later there, that's just devastating, right? Because then all the lurkers come out. They all manage to burrow. Well, good defense by Clem. Would have loved to see Reynor here. Even if it's just a couple of mutas, it could have made a difference there.
Yeah, it can really sometimes snowball, like the difference between one more lurker or not, for instance, as well. Like, it can make a huge difference.
Because one lurker was derping and just didn't burrow.
Now it feels like Reynor is like really broke because of how cost inefficient he has been over the last couple of fights. And this off creep as well.
Maybe we can burrow a couple of banelings. I'm sure that Clem is paying attention. We have another Nidus attempt in the corner of the main base. Clem is probably thinking about it, and he already has a few Marines and a Marauder stemming over. And I don't think this Nidus is going to come online. We have a few stray units all by themselves gunning down a Queen. This is the main army of Clem that is making some progress. Not a lot of ghosts at the moment though, Gabe. Only 6. Could this be a problem?
I don't think so, because Reynor also didn't make many more lurkers. So you don't really need that many ghosts if they don't have lurkers.
Oh, Infestor sharking from behind, lands a big fungal. Reynor gets a couple of good connections with his banelings. Not that much firepower left on the ground. Hydra dash forward. Clem is going to have to pick up these ghosts. Now he's just going to run them as he's afraid he's going to lose these medevacs. Reynor gets a decent fight, but we still hear a lot of people towards the end, and Clem did an amazing job there in saving those 5 ghosts, because they were deep, and it looked like they were in all trouble.
Even the way he retreated with those medevacs, like that was actually like, if I had taken that fight, I feel like I would have actually lost the game now.
Clem doing a very good job in unburrowing the mines as well to prevent these overseers from dragging Widow Mine shots on top of this army, but one in the end did kind of connect. Reynor is going to try to win this fight, but these Marauders are tanky. The Ghosts have high DPS right behind it, and Reynor is in all sorts of trouble. Down 50 supply, is trying to get another Nidus up, does push this tiny army back, but Clem has so many units at home.
Yeah, like he's so rich. Like Reynor at this point, he has like no more advantages left. He had a lurker timing, wasn't able to hit it. The Nidus in the main, not enough lurkers. He was very close to making some plays, and it, like, until now I really thought he had a chance. Like now it really feels like he doesn't have much of a chance left anymore because Clem has all the advantage. Man, like this was so close from suddenly being a game where Reynor is actually ahead.
We had the Infestor behind enemy lines, on burrowing, trying to get a big fungal off, and it kind of worked, but Clem did a 10 out of 10 job there. When it comes to the crisis management, saving those important goals, we still have an answer for these final lurkers, and this could very well be it, as Reynor supply is just no longer climbing. GG gets called. Clem will tie things up in the grand finals.
Very strong first 2 games, right? They are really delivering so far.
Yeah. Obviously, Reynor saw the initial attack coming a little bit too late, was not aware of the 2-Rex opening, and then the Hellbats, the Marines, just put him in such a tough spot.
Yeah, that call is like a very hard one for Clem to make. I wonder what he saw in order to make that call, because imagine if it's like an Elaser roach build, and then you go Hellbat pushing and it's like roaches. Like, I've done that. Like, I've done the same like Clem. I'm like playing a random ladder game. I'm like, yeah, let's do Hellbats. Let's like roll the dice. You know, it's like, I can't really, it's like so hard to figure out, is it mutas or is it like roaches? Mm-hmm. And against mutas, it's obviously nice to do that. It wasn't completely game winning. But then suddenly they go roaches. It's like the worst thing ever, actually. So it's not one of these things that you can, like you have to be very confident in doing that for sure.
But it's been a while that we've seen Reynor go for some sort of a tool-based roach build, right? So
can be true. I've also seen like Clem usually like he sometimes like takes a lot of damage against these builds. So maybe yeah, it's one of these things where the strong Zerg players, they have done that like a lot of times against him. Like I have my ladder experience, he has his ladder experience or like tournament experience. So maybe his is like very different, like the Zergs, because he's like so good in a straight up game. They trying to be sneaky and get an advantage by playing greedy mutas, and then he's like, yeah, F it, we're just gonna go help a push.
I love it. Game 3 will be played on White Rabbit. Clem is 2 maps away from crowning himself a 2-time Big Gabe Cup champ. Reynor needs to win 2 out of the next 3 games, and then another best of 3 afterwards. It is always tough when you come from that lower bracket. Round 3, White Rabbit, top right side, Team Liquids, Clem.
Okay, and let's make some noise for the red Zerg player. This Reynor. Let's go.
Noise has been made for the man from Basilisk. Let's see what we can do. White Rabbit, I think, is a map that Reynor is quite fond of. When I asked him earlier, you know, when you sit 3 hours in a car with a fellow Starcraft 2 gamer, you're always going to talk about maps a little bit, right? That's like, what do you like?
Yeah.
And he said, I think I like White Rabbit. I'm honestly not 100% sure about it, but I do think I like White Rabbit. So I hope for Reynor that he has an all-star performance, obviously, for us. Honestly, the games, again, today between Clem and Reynor, like so often in the past, just really fun Starcraft to watch. It's hard to call, it's fast-paced, it's unpredictable, and even when someone looks like they're in so much trouble, they still make the other guy work for it. It's very enjoyable stuff.
I mean, so far, especially in the Grand Finals, even the series that we had before, in terms of games, this is like high tier. Like this, we're watching some proper Starcraft.
What a man. Thank you, Arnor. Getting some love, Gabe.
Yeah,
Did
thank
you
you
get
very
some
much,
love for all your cooking?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I had a tip jar as well, so I can cover some of the drinks.
You're absolutely welcome. Would love it. I was looking for you earlier, mate, but I wasn't sure where you are. So I'm going to move the slider up as soon as you put the microphone on. And we have a third commentator. It's their one and only Julian. Willkommen.
Hello, hello.
Hello, mate.
Which one is mine? This one?
Yes, number 1 you are.
Okay.
You can turn it up, you can turn it down. There's a bit of feedback there, and there might be some random noises, but we can hear you very loud and clear, and the people at home can hear you, so
Perfect.
everything should be good. How are we doing, mate?
Doing well, doing well. I dropped my stuff at the hotel and now I'm back. I actually didn't even miss the first game. The first game looked pretty cool. Very epic.
Yeah, it was good. It was
scrappy and different for sure as well.
Did you see Clem's army at one point with the 22 hellbats wiggling?
Yeah, that's when I came in. I had no clue how the hell we ended up here, but
yeah, Reynor went straight ultras, you know, like no banelings. He was very far ahead after a run by, and Clem was like, well, let's play double factory blue flame, morphed every Hellion into a hellbat, and actually became a pretty freaking epic game where Clem was definitely the one this time who was in a lot of trouble in the early game. Just made Reynor work incredibly hard for it. Game 2, Clem was off to a much better start. Reynor, there were opportunities. I don't know if you saw a couple of these Nidus attempts, the Lurker in the main, also the Lurkers near the 4th base. Maybe there was a bit more potential there, but obviously in the end went Clem's way. Any thoughts you want to share about Game 2, Lambo?
I thought the attack didn't look too good for Reynor. I only watched Reynor's POV, so I didn't see the supplies, but when he ran in with the Lurkers weren't in range of anything, and then he lost a bunch of Hydras. That fight didn't look too good. But yeah, it was hard to judge. The early game looked awful to me for Reynor.
Because when we lost all the drones and we lost the Queen and he wasn't quite ready, he was in a lot of trouble. How do you like White Rabbit from a Zerg's point of view, Lambo?
I slightly dislike the map. I think it's fine, but I slightly dislike it.
Reynor's making a lot of links here.
Yeah, it looks like a big run by.
This is a crazy amount of Zerglings, 3.5 minutes into the game. Let's go ahead, guys, and watch this from Clem's point of view for a little bit. Clem was eBay blocking. Let's see what Clem sees. Clem is rallying his first 2 Hellions all the way to the other side of the map. This could already spell some trouble for Clem, because he is not ready to deal with all these links that are about to show up.
This is a 2cc opening.
It's a 2cc opening with a hidden depot.
Yeah, it looks like I have a Marauder push, absolutely. Where are the Zerglings though?
Yeah, we've got 20 of them. Maybe Reynor is waiting until he sees the Hellions.
And now
There
they
come the
show.
Zerglings. And they're into the main base.
That's huge.
Clem sees it late. I wonder what Clem is going to do. Clem is just going to click his Hellions into the main base of Reynor immediately. Reynor might have a tough time, but maybe the Evo Chamber block. We're a little bit too late with the Evo Chamber block, but the Queens and the Lynx already 10 SCVs dying on the other side of the map. And this is not triple orbital Clem. This is double orbital. Clem needs big Hellion shots, gets a couple drones here, but it's safe to say Clem needs more. Clem is not going to get a whole lot more. All the Lynx did get dealt with on the other side of the map, but 13 SCVs of a 2-base Terran opening.
Yeah, this is rough. This is rough for the Terran. I'm not even sure what you do from this point. I think he's going to try to YOLO the Hellions again, I suppose.
I mean, there's one Liberator as well. Maybe you can drag the Queens out of position, do another Hellion run by, get a lucky Hellion shot. I mean, he definitely has to hope for some kind of miracle here.
Often after such a big run by, a lot of SCVs survive with very low HP as well. So if Reynor gets in one more time, it won't take him very long to pick up a few additional SCVs. This time he does run into Hellion number 5 and 6. The Liberator is being annoying near the 3rd base. Reynor is going up to 50 drones now, does not have a lair yet. That's the one thing that we probably have to point out. Reynor's going to have a very late lair, but economically this game looks amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not sure if Reynor knows the position that he's in, because there's I think both players micro the Hellion front more than the other side.
Yeah, that's why I showed the Hellion front as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Clem just had so little firepower at home that there wasn't a whole lot that he could have done about it. Just need to buy some time, stack the SCVs for a little while. Reynor, his defense continues to look good as we now do have a lair on the way. Single Evo chamber, carapace. Reynor looks very safe. Dropping the second Evo chamber now. Clem's Hellion.
What a triad.
Yeah. Down 15 SCVs, but he's like, look at these two Hellions, baby. Well, the day that Clem gets as good as raising depots as he gets at microing anything, like, we are in trouble, guys. He may just never lose a TVC again.
Reynor might just 1-1 Roach follow-up.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty safe option that he has.
Yeah. No Banshees, late tank production, late barracks production, in all honesty.
The only thing that Clem has here is Stim very early.
Is he going straight Widow Mines even? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's gonna be rough.
You think Reynor should create some sort of an autobahn with creep? Should we get some
I don't
drop
think you need
alert? Just pure roach?
Yeah. Like this map, you can kind of like, I call it like the highway towards like the third of the Zerg, or like even the third of the Terran. This is one of these maps where the third base, the triangle one, is very exposed, but it's also really close to the third of the Zerg. So like 8 Rex is good, or even like just send roaches across the map is really good.
Clem is adding in an armory as he is still building some Hellions, by the way. In a game where Clem has already lost 8 Hellions, we are still adding in a few extra Hellions, maybe hoping that he can find some sort of a great fight with Marine, Stim, and a couple of Hellbats. That is going to work very well against pure Zerglings, or if it's Link Queen, that's not going to work very well against the 11 roaches that Reynor has out, and the 11 additional roaches that Reynor has on the way. But Clem is going to need a tech lab ASAP, right? Is there even any hope here, Lambo?
Very little. I think we're gonna see a reaction from Clem in the camera the moment he sees the roaches. I think his heart is gonna sink a bit. Because yeah, he's gonna move in here. There's roaches ready. This doesn't look that great. Clem kind of wants to trade right now because the Hellbats are not that good defensively, but this is already way too many roaches. He realizes he goes for a counter drop. I don't know. I don't know. I think you counter drop and you hope for a mistake from Reynor's point, because like pure army versus army, I think Reynor's always gonna win if he waits a little bit and then goes.
Clem is still adding in Widow Mines at this point. He had slapped down 2 more barracks, but he's still just a 2cc Terran. Well, 3cc obviously, but he's not building a 4th, does not have any transition, does not have a tech lab on the factory. A little worried for Clem, does fire up the +2 attacks, but I mean, Reynor is doubling his army supply. Clem knows that he's just in too much trouble. Reynor, the player from the lower bracket, takes the 2-1 lead. Off the back of another fantastic run by, made 20 Zerglings incredibly early and was very patient with them. They could have gone earlier, but Reynor clearly waited, wanted to see where the Hellions were, and the moment he saw the Hellions on his side of the map, he said, that's the moment, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
And I guess like the 2cc opening in this case is even good for Reynor, because like after like every SCV kill you get, it's like worth way more than if you have like a triple CC. And the only real difference is that Hellion production is like slightly later, but I don't think it would have like changed much if they were later, because then Clem would have sent the Hellions later, and Reynor would have sent the links later because they wouldn't be on the other side, etc.
So Reynor up 2-1. If Reynor does win, we'll obviously give the players a tiny break as well before they hop into the best of 3. Is there some sort of a special rule when it comes to the map vetoes? If Reynor wins the best of 5, can they only play on different maps? Or
We could do that, yeah. I mean,
but Lambo is probably not a fan because that means we're going to get bad maps and then we're going to get awkward builds.
In this case it'd be a little bit too crazy maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe it's better to just start over.
I thought about like a veto system. I didn't want to test it, but I think because like especially in best of 3 and like TVZs or whatever, a lot of times, especially in the past, you would see a lot of the same maps in like a best of 3 because like you just veto like the weird maps. But I think what could be sort of fun, because we have 9 maps, is like veto until 5 maps in the best of 3 and then pick out of these 5, for instance. Like that's something I thought about, where it's like, doesn't sound like too bad, but I haven't really thought about too much more than that.
It's fair. I mean, it's your tournament, Gabe. You're the man in charge.
Now in this case, I think it'd be better if they play standard maps.
Keep it normal.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's hope we have a few more games to look forward to and potentially another best of 3, as this was a double elimination bracket. In the top left side of Winter Madness, we are looking at the main base of the man that's representing Team Liquid, the champ of the first edition of the Big Gabriel Cup 2 years ago. In Team Liquid's Clem. Out of beer and in with the noise.
And in the bottom right-hand side, he's up a map, leading 2-1 from Italy. It's BASILISK Reynor.
So far, so good.
In the game or in the finals?
Everything about this series so far.
Everything about your day, Gabe. You love your day.
Yeah, like I said, I'm too exhausted for any emotions. I wasn't even able to really talk to anyone, besides the people that helped me.
And who is your pizza crew, by the way? What can you tell us about everyone that helped you make pizzas for the entire venue today?
It's different groups, let's say. Like, it's a lot of people that you see at Homestreak every time. It's the main crew was the people from Krefeld that are always there for Homestreak Cup. They are the regulars there. You know, the Take TV Ultras, they are called. They are my main crew. They did basically everything today. That's why I'm able to commentate now, because I saved a lot of time. I was able to make more pizza than expected. And I didn't have to do everything. So I didn't cut the mozzarella, for example. They did it for me. I had someone that constantly served the people, etc. So they are the one. And then there's some of my friends in Cologne that came by. Went on to buy some more groceries so that we don't run out of stuff. So many people to kind of thank here. Yeah.
So it was a proper team effort.
There were a lot of there was a lot of support, especially for the pizza, let's say.
One day when we're gonna open the Big Gabe restaurant over here in Cologne, any of them qualify as a potential chef, waiter?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all right. So they've got jobs lined up. I love it.
We'll see.
All right, Lambo. 2.5 minutes into Winter Madness. Is there anything you'd love to talk about already?
Not really so far. It all looks normal. Clem tried to block a base. Reynor faked him out going to the base he didn't want, and then he ended up with the base that he really did want to take. And yeah, Clem's just opening up 3cc. Probably Banshee. I mean, in the game they played earlier, Clem legitimately just destroyed him with the early Banshee Hellion on this very map.
Yeah, when we grabbed the queens over here, right? The queens were a bit exposed, and at that point, this game was hell, and then Reynor was forced to cancel the 4th, lost it later on. And Reynor was even molding a little bit about the Banshees, and Clem found so much success with those Banshees. It's a bit surprising that we have seen a lack of Banshee play. It is obviously a Gabe, a build that you're very fond of as well, Gabe. I think I've casted around 200 games of you against Bly, of opening triple CC Hellion Banshee.
Well, I mean...
He didn't like it. He did not like that build. He would have liked something a bit more adventurous.
You know, Bly's like the most stubborn player. I think he always... Because at some point I won a lot against him towards the end of his active career, I think. And he's the kind of guy, I think he always like saw something where it's like, okay, I can deal damage here, but he never found it. Like he then just tried to like do like the same kind of like road cheese on 2 bays or whatever. Couldn't find it.
These eBays are damn early, no, Lambo?
Yeah. 3cc double eBay, relatively greedy. This usually lines up for a very nice push later on. The Koreans played like this all the time for a while, maybe half a year ago.
This Maru classic, let's say.
Yeah, Maru Ryang as well played like this a lot.
1-1 before Stim even.
Yep.
This is gonna be 8 racks, right?
I can feel my boy Bonnie being very fond of this one too.
Also, yeah, almost everybody in Korea played this. Cure as well. They would do it a little bit more tricky though, like some of them. Maru plays it like this very often. But Ryang, for example, would go like Viking and then double E-base, or at least he would go for a lot of Marines to deny the scouting. Reynor didn't even try to scout so far, which usually against Clem you don't really need to. Because either he makes more than 4 Hellions, in that case it's 3cc Banshee, or he makes 4 Hellions or less, in that case it's 3cc 2-1-1. And that's that's kind of how you can play against Clem. He's relatively predictable in this matchup, but this time he's actually mixing it up.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I've ever really seen that from Clem recently, or ever.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a very late starport, and now eventually I think Reynor should be able to put 2 and 2 together here. That is like, wait a minute, I haven't seen the Raven yet that you tried to go for in game 1, haven't seen a medevac, there's no Liberators, no Banshees either. And I think Reynor, with all of his experience, without seeing it, without confirming it, will obviously be aware. And the first time he's going to see Marines and he clicks on them, he's also going to be very aware.
Yeah, I think he doesn't know yet, because right now this still looks like 3cc 2-1-1 to him probably, because it's only 4 Hellions, and this is the more common build from Clem. That's also why he made a bunch of links already. That's in anticipation of the 2 medevacs. Obviously these 2 medevacs are going to be a bit later, but the Marines are going to hit harder because they're going to have 1-1.
This is going to be a scout though for Reynor, if he pays attention. It's obviously going to be a lot of Marines, and +1 is done, +1 armor is done, so if Reynor would have just clicked on one of them, he should know immediately. Built a spine right off the get-go. We're going to build this one near the 3rd. And we got a Hydra then, no Baneling Nest yet.
He thought this was a 3cc 2-1-1 Hellbat attack, but even for that it already left too late.
I also like this build. Oh, the run by. But these are 1-1 Marines, so he's not gonna bother. So I also like this build by Clem because it's been a long day, and this is the kind of build that is like very powerful, very easy to execute. I mean, you're just being greedy, and then you do 8 racks, you print Marines. Whereas for Reynor, for him it's not easy to defend this. Like, you need to be very spot on, especially if you don't really know it's coming, and he's getting a lurker then. So I really don't think, like, I don't think he sees this coming. So this is gonna be really tough.
It's with Widow Mines though. It's not a normal Adrex with siege tanks.
Yeah, sometimes they do it with Hellbats as well.
Yeah. The early game was quite bad for Reynor. Reynor really thought this was a Hellbat attack, like an early Hellbat attack. He made like 10 queens, pulled all of them to the front, didn't drone up his fort base at all. 11 queens overall, which doesn't help at all against well-upgraded bio. And now he's gonna have lurkers without range. I guess the lurkers are good against Marine Widow Mine.
By the way, do you see the one Liberator in production? That's the Clem. This map has like a Liberator spot.
Ah, yeah.
He's gonna use that 100%.
But you can't see, right?
No, he needs a medevac there as well, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna send a medevac with the Liberator. You see it on top there. There's a Liberator with a medevac moving to that.
Reynor is going to be
position.
pissed.
Yeah.
Not the kind of stuff that I think Reynor wants to deal with at 10 p.m. on a Saturday evening in Cologne.
Let's have a look at the player cams.
Yeah,
if he could intercept it, that would be huge.
that'd be massive.
But he has no idea, obviously.
Sniping this, he's gonna see it, and now he immediately knows. But what do you do? What do you do?
Boost the medevac, okay. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Reynor smiling.
Oh my god.
I mean, in case you guys were wondering why the Liberator got a vision range nerf, it was exactly for this, to make it easier for map makers to make their maps, so they don't need to care about it. But
who could have ever thought that you could send a second unit? I mean, the map maker mind could not comprehend. This was a possibility.
Well, it's a very hard thing to like change, you know. You're always gonna find some, like, it's very, like, you can always find some exposed positions.
this is so bad for Reynor. He has no creep on the map, he has no 5th base, he can't really mine even from this base. He has a lot of gas, which is nice. I think the only thing that's keeping Reynor in this game is that Clem went for Widow Mines, which is not good against this.
Very hard to attack into lurkers, even if they're not high-tech lurkers. That was a sick Widow Mine shot by Clem. And a lot of circlings go down on the side of Reynor. It is going to be tough to attack into lurkers here if you don't have any tanks, you don't have a bunch of Liberators in the front, but Clem doesn't really need to. He's okay with his soft contain, keeping Reynor on basically 3.5 bases at this point.
Yeah, taking his fort base as well already. Super early 3-3.
Jeez, this is a brutal units loss.
I mean, the Liberator, it's like, I mean, Reynor is like contained on 4 base, but like, this is a fourth base with like less than 4 minerals, because like would have to like stack up the drones now as well, and then suddenly like this base is unmineable from besides the gas.
Yeah, it's quite rough. He needs a Viper.
Hive is done now, so we can start firing up a Viper immediately. Clem stims into a couple of lurkers, just like the Muslim would do in his glory days. A lot of Queen transfuse. Those Queens actually turning out to be still somewhat useful in the end. Reynor does a really good job there, floating a lot of minerals. Not quite able to spend this money. We got seismic spines on the way. Lurker count is 13. Is there a world where if we get both lurker upgrades, we can go for a devastating lurker counter, Lambo? Is there a world we can just shove everything into the natural?
It's difficult because Clem already has Liberators, and I don't think Reynor has enough anti-air, mobile anti-air, to just go for a shot.
Maybe Hydra Dash?
Maybe a Nidus. Yeah, I don't think dashing 2 Hydras into 3 Liberators is gonna do a whole lot.
No, we're gonna get. Hey, the Medevac died.
Oh yeah.
The Medevac died.
Actually. You have 2 back.
It's alright, I think Clem is quite happy with the value that Liberator and Medevac got for him. As he unloads a bunch of very low HP Marines into the natural. Reynor forced to take this fight with Zerglings that just have 0-1, a triple upgrade deficit, but it is good enough. Clem is stepping into the lurkers once more. Reynor is floating 2,400 minerals, just not been able to spend his money. Seismic Spines is finally done, but not before the 4th base falls. Clem is all over Reynor.
Yeah, this is super rough.
Like Clem is not all-inning actually. Like he's macroing. He's having a lot of fun. He has like 10 Varrics, I believe, up and running maybe even.
Yeah, 2 extra CCs. Fusion core now for Lib range as well.
Like he's having a great time. Desert being down on 3 base here, while not even having like upgrades. Clem getting 3-3.
I mean, if Reynor maxes out and we get Hive-Tech Lurkers, it could still maybe get a tiny bit scary with a couple of Vipers. Like, Reynor is in a very bad spot, but Clem needs to be cautious because the Lurker count is really high. We're not talking about 8 Lurkers, it's 17 Lurkers on the battlefield. And only now Clem is building his Ghost Academy. It obviously looks very good for Clem, but needs to be careful, needs to respect the power. Does have Liberators here and is going to try to use these Libs to maybe force an opening, but it's a low HP army and things can go down south real quick if we stim into too many lurkers.
Yeah, he needs to watch out a little bit, but I think Reynor needs vision on the other side of the map to alleviate some of the pressure, to like throw down some Nidus Worms on the other side of the map, because this is rough. Good parasitic bomb though into the center of the Liberators.
And finds it immediately. Reynor's still going to go for it, hoping that the anti-air of the Hydras is good enough, but that is still a lot of Libs. Clem scans, a lot of lurkers are falling. Clem loses vision temporarily. Hydras doing their thing. Lurker power as Reynor moves them forward. We really lack anti-air there. We just had such a tough time gunning these Liberators down. And Reynor pushes Clem back, but not before losing 18 lurkers already in a 12-minute game. That is a shockingly high number.
And he also has trouble maxing out, which is like really his problem right now. Like Clem is easily able to max out again. He has better upgrades, and he is like replacing his army now with Ghost.
Yeah.
The Zerglings he's making are also legit completely useless. They're +0 attack Zerglings against +3 armor bio units.
Yeah, they will do nothing.
Yeah, like they're gonna heal the bio units.
Reynor is going to move the lurkers forward, finds a ghost, will kill a ghost, but that also means that Clem knows that Reynor's main army is out of position. We do spam a parasitic bomb. Clem almost immediately finds that one medevac. It still did some damage. This hatchery is taking a bit of a beating. Reynor is going to try to counter. Realize that defending forever is not going to do it. It is a solid amount of lurkers. We've got a couple of Vipers up, actually just a single one. In a world where he has 4 Vipers here, this could have gone better. Here come the lurkers, we're gonna siege, but there's no anti-air with this lurker attack.
This is still annoying to clear up though for Clem, so maybe he's gonna make some mistakes at the front at the same time.
And the supply is still quite high for Reynor. The bio is very hurt here as well.
Yeah, it's 4 libs on the way though at the same time, and he did not breach natural yet. Lifts the CC, doesn't even lose that one. Oh, the ghosts are going inside of lurker range. I guess it doesn't matter because the lurkers are too split. Not enough damage output from those lurkers.
Clem left the 4 Liberators actually behind. Reynor now sneaks a few very slow Hydras behind. He's gonna get the first, we'll get the second, and that is the power of that lurker counterattack. Reynor will get all of them. And it still is being annoying with a couple of those original lurkers. The fact that he still has 2 of those alive did a lot of damage, but you made a really good point about these Lings, Lambo. 0-1 well, now 0-2 Zerglings, but no adrenal glands. These Lings are just there to tank for the lurker. That's literally their only job.
Yep, pretty much.
Viper gets EMP. That's great EMP on the side of Clem. And all the Hydras are incredibly exposed. Means Reynor loses his anti-air and will wave the white flag immediately. We are going to game 5 as Clem ties things up.
That was that liberator position. That was rough.
Yeah, the liberator. I think he already was super far behind. He made 11 queens, I think.
Yep.
And he made like 40 zerglings and a spine crawler. Like, yeah, against the greediest build there.
Against triple CC double eBay before.
He misread it because Clem always, when it's just 4 Hellions, it's always 3 CC 2-1-1, and most of the time, if it's the 4 Hellion version, and he doesn't arrive too early, it's the Hellbat version. So he read into what Clem always plays. If I'm in his position, I probably would have done very similarly. Well, I don't skip my baiting nest, so I don't need to make 11 queens, but yeah.
So Clem gets rewarded for switching it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Clem has requested a 3-minute break as he wants to go to the restroom. We can take a tiny break, but we can also just stick around and talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the last map for this first best of 5, potentially another one coming up. Surely we're going to take a break or finish it after this. So.
That's of course. We'll make sure that we can run some ads so they don't run during the potential game 5.
I also
that would be
ran
a problem.
some ads before we started here as a
Oh, you
professional
did it
streamer.
for me.
Yeah.
Sick, Gabe. You did it, Gabe, my man. No, it's better to do it now than in case. Like, it's one thing or the other. Either you do no ads, but then you have the pre-rolls all the time, and people hate the pre-rolls with a passion. Or once an hour you do 3 minutes, and I think that's the best way to go about it. Better now than in 10 minutes, or potentially 25 minutes into Tourmaline, where you're out of snoozes. And that'd be a bit sad after such a long day. Kind of hope that Reynor wins it though. It would be fun to see just one more best of 3, and in the final best of 3, may the better man win. But I feel like it's been another successful Big Gabe Cup. Like, I enjoyed all 3 Gabe, even the old German one that we had with Battleby and Musi. That was a few too many Terrans towards the end. Like, you brought me over from the Netherlands to cast.
I'm so sorry.
TVT, back to back to back. And I was like, well, this is getting a bit rough, but we still had a great day back then as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the first time with pizza. So.
But this is probably your favorite one up to this point, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's
great turnout as well.
Yeah, I think so.
It's insane how many non-German players showed up. When I saw the bracket, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
Like Cristiano showing up, Gerald showing up, Reynor showing up, Clem, everybody just showing up.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of the Ukrainians that are here, and they're all super nice. I love seeing Vlad; he's always a super nice kid. And Hacker is Stop, the random player. I like him as well. Like, these guys are very active online, so it's cool to see them come out to these events as well. Makes me happy, sparks a lot of joy. And then a couple of like names from the past. It's always great to see Holy Hit make it to events like this. I feel like maybe next time we should try to get Zoka and Hazu ups to come. Like, isn't Hazu nearby? Like, what is this Hazu doing? How important can Heroes of the Storm be 24/7? Like, I feel like Hazu can make a little stop for us.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great addition for the next time, potentially.
Does he actually live close by? Do you know?
Not at all, I think, but...
Well, in the past he did. In the home Starcraft days he did.
I think it's like near Hamburg.
That's pretty close, mate. Like, this man comes from Bavaria.
Yeah, that's true.
I come all the way from the Netherlands, okay?
I saw Hasu streaming some World of Warcraft with Harsum.
I saw Harsum's German, man. Harsum's German is good.
Yeah, not bad. Grubby too.
Grubby, like, I know, because Grubby has practiced it, and Grubby also lives close to the border, I believe, these days, so that makes sense. But from Kev, I didn't know, but his German was...
I didn't either. I was very surprised.
Yeah, it was solid, honestly. Pretty solid vocabulary, great pronunciation. I was like, damn, Harsum. Harsum's got moves. All right, guys, potentially the final game of the day, but if this man wins it, we are not done yet, and there will be a bonus best of 3. As this man came from the lower bracket, Cologne. If you want to see a little bit of extra StarCraft, you better make some noise for the man from Basilisk. It's Reynor. They want more StarCraft.
And in the bottom left, his opponent. He comes from the winner bracket, so he's only a single map away from closing out this tournament. It's Liquid Clem.
That's an exciting one.
How do you like this map game?
I think it's a pretty even, like... It's kind of annoying to attack on that map, but like turtling is kind of okay because it's not many bases. But like I do think it's like tough to attack because of how open it is. For sure. And also like run by position, so like if you take your third, like you attack on like let's say the top side of the map, and then from the bottom to your third there's like gonna be a run by or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like the run by paths are really good here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I think it's just pretty equal, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
As we get ready for Game 5 and hopefully a few more. How much snow is there in Bavaria right now, Lembo? Were you guys snowed in as well, or?
It thawed. Is that the English word?
Which one?
So when the snow goes away, it melted, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it melted.
Okay.
So not that much snow anymore. Although I was stuck on the airport for a bit because it's still a bit too much.
But it's quite common where you live, I assume, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like almost every winter, you guys get some.
Every winter, yeah. For
Okay.
sure.
That's beautiful, a little jelly. Do your puppies like it?
Yes, they love it. They go crazy.
And do they then have dirty paws and go all over the house? And
Yeah, of course.
sick. All right, Clem, his first Reaper has made it to the other side of the map. Reynor has gone gasless. Well, actually, that's not true. Reynor has Zergling speed on the way. He has not gone gasless, but he has taken a forward expand.
Mm-hmm. I like that base too. It makes taking the fourth base a lot easier. Usually Terran wants to attack that base anyways if you take it as a fourth. So I like taking it. It explodes the creep spread. And you can still give it up later on if you really need to. Go for a big run by and then have a fourth and fifth as a backup.
Is there a world where Reynor is going to use this hedge to be more aggressive? Because it is obviously set up nicely to potentially be a lot more aggressive too.
He could, theoretically, yeah. It would be better if he wanted to go for a roach on in because it would always be spotted later then, since the Hellions would need to be further back. But I don't think so, personally.
Too risky for a Game 5?
Maybe not too risky. I think Reynor doesn't care about that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't. He doesn't really Ravager Lingol in that much because Clem automatically is safe with most of his builds against it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to do any sort of cheese unless you do like Elaser stuff, like 2-base random roach attacks.
Yeah.
Clem has once more added in a second barracks relatively early. That's the third command
Yeah, that's
center.
a
is done.
signature Clem opening, like I said.
Reynor does drop a roach warren though, guys.
Oh, it's getting late, I guess.
Reynor saw Dom the Dominator outside and he was excited to go to a bar.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in this case, like I said, these are like the builds like Clem still need like a tight defense against it, and like Reynor doesn't need to be like 100% in order to play a build like this. So the advantage of like being tired here is definitely like Reynor has more of an advantage when both are playing like tired here because he's the one all inning.
Yeah.
Clem's got two Hellions coming in from the other angle. Reynor is going to be able to get a surround on at least one of them. I assume it wasn't quite a surround, but it was good enough for the kill. 5 roaches on the production tab, but Reynor immediately fires up the drones after these 5 roaches.
Yeah, these roaches don't do anything against the build that Clem is going for. So I would much rather have Reynor made like 60 drones at first and then makes the roaches defensively, because this is truly just a defensive build. Maybe he was worried about like Hellion Banshee with the forward base, I don't know. But
Hellbats again, because obviously we've seen a decent amount of Hellbats. Maybe he was worried
could
about
be,
that.
yeah. Could be.
Yeah, you would have preferred to see Reynor prioritize the droning a little while longer and then make a couple of these safety roaches, because you think it's going to lead into the same thing, but just with a better economy.
Yeah, maybe he also wants to keep him honest in case he goes for a similar build to last game, but this is obviously not the case. The stim is going to be done way earlier, and he honestly will need to watch out with these roaches. He should already go back.
I think Reynor is in a bit of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Because Clem can absolutely go for it. Reynor does have some links, but Clem is going to stim forward, and Reynor is not going to be able to save these roaches. Clem does not have a wall up, so now Clem is actually forced to turn around, but with the Hellions nearby, with those Stim Marines, I don't think Reynor is going to get a whole lot. Is getting something, gets a Hellion there as well, but the 3 SCVs is not exactly something that Reynor is going to be mega stoked over. Does find a 4th, keeps Clem busy. He's got a nice little work lead now, but the next minute or next 2 minutes are going to be very difficult for Reynor.
Yeah, I think he's going to lose 2 overlords here as well. I think he should lose that one. Clem doesn't unload for it, actually. And he even leaves the one below that alive as well. So he's going straight to the main. This is what roaches kind of suck at, because they're very slow to respond. But he is in position, now he can just drop on the low ground, unload there. Oh, the Queen's coming in for the flank. Getting a couple of nice hits in.
Yeah, just getting some damage on the Medivacs is nice. I'd love to see Reynor fire up roach speed immediately. Even if we don't want to make roaches forever, it's just going to make life a tiny bit more comfortable against a Clem. And with these medevacs, they can obviously boost all over the place. But it's actually making a lot of links. It's got +1 carapace on the way. It does end up losing this Overlord.
I think this is quite nice for Clem. Like, his setup is just very solid, whereas Reynor has like a late 4th. He doesn't really have an upgrade advantage, so like hitting a roach timing is kind of difficult. Like,
Yeah.
Clem likes this for a defensive setup, like it's pretty stable. It's kind of annoying for him to figure out if he's getting all in or not though, so he might need to be more careful than he really wants to be.
It's got a safety bunker.
Yeah.
Obviously a bunker here between the natural and the third, just in case. And then he still has like enough map presence to be annoying, fight an Overlord, maybe shave off a couple of Zerglings, get a drone or two.
Very good information here.
Yeah.
Like, he sees the 4th timing, he sees how many drones there are roughly.
And this does not make him vulnerable at home, because it's not that many units that he's really going to miss in the making of a great defense, but he's getting the scouting and he's still getting a bit of damage. This is well played by Clem, but the Reynor supply is going up. He does have an infestation pit finishing up. Let's see where Reynor decides to go. As a roach pit, that is so many roaches coming out of Reynor.
I am very worried for Reynor. If Clem doesn't move out now, which I don't think he will, there's gonna be an insane 2-2 timing. And Reynor made way too many roaches. Like, if Clem goes late with like 180 plus supply, or
Yeah.
if he waits until he's maxed, his army is gonna be 10 times better than Reynor's. Reynor doesn't even have a bailing nest. His hive is too late to start ultras or anything like that.
There was an era where Clem would often attack with like 150, 160 supply into
Yeah.
Dark, who was maxing out on roaches, and Reynor was often modding over it. It's like, why is Clem attacking? If he just stays at home, it's gonna have the easiest fight ever. I guess Reynor is hoping for one of these move-outs of Clem. Clem does have some units in the bottom right. There's a lot of potential, but this also means that the tanks are potentially a bit exposed. This is mostly Marines, but Marines are mostly on the other side of the map. So these 5 tanks, that is not going to do a whole lot. Reynor takes care of the critical units in the making of a fantastic defense for Clem, but Clem, of course, will find something on the other side of the map.
That's a proper dark move for sure, and it seems to be working out because I don't think these units are dealing enough damage.
And a lot of them are very low on HP as well. Clem is a long ways off 2-2. Reynor has a lot of roaches. There's a couple of Widow Mines, so at least the main base is safe. But this natural is not safe at all, and Clem did not lift it in time. Sure, Ravagers would have been able to damage it, but would have never killed it that quickly. Reynor is going to find way more, and he's still maxed out, Lambo.
Reynor had no business winning this game. He was hoping for a move out, and it was a move out of some sorts. The tanks were too exposed, and that means that Reynor is now up 70 supply. The 2-2 is not done yet. Clem already thought about the next stage. He was producing Widow Mines. He thought this was going to be Roach into maybe Ling Bane into Ultras. But yeah, Reynor just shipped it with the Roach Ravager, and his army still is looking strong here at the front.
Yep,
Clem back to do base.
Not quite at 2-2, so these Marines not trading as well as Clem would love to see it. Reynor might be down an upgrade, but he still has way more units. Clem does still have 43 SCV, so he's not completely crippled, but his supply is plummeting. And these final Marauders, it seems like they're not quite cutting it against all these Marauders. GG gets called, and Reynor gets the dub that he's been dreaming of, as he was always hoping that Clem would move out against him the way he's done against Dark so many times in Starcraft 2 history. But it wasn't an all-out movement through the center, Lambo, as you said, because he left the tanks at home. But yeah, 6 Marines protecting 4 tanks is a little bit iffy.
Yeah, yeah. The tanks were also too exposed for that. Like, if the tanks are some in the main base, some like inside the base or further behind the natural wall, then he can maybe buy some time, get back to the other units. But yeah, it was too greedy. He misread the situation.
We're not done yet, guys. More Starcraft.
I guess let's take a small break. Like, did they
Yeah,
write
I'm all-
anything in the chat?
I'm all for it now. I'm sure that they're gonna have to veto as well, right? So it's always gonna take a couple of minutes.
I think did they post something in the channel?
No one has posted anything, but well,
Okay,
Reynor
more
said 5.
info.
5 or more. Be
Yeah.
right back. And
Yeah, I mean, then we're gonna take a break as well. We're not done.
yeah, I've tried
One
to, by the
final
way,
best of 3.
tell the story a couple of times. But before we throw to the break, quickly tell us the story about the music that we're playing in the break. Moondriver.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, that was also here playing in this tournament. He even practiced for this one. He doesn't play much Starcraft anymore, but he started practicing some just for this event to be prepared, obviously. Well, I think he lost like in the first round. I think he got last place. Didn't go so well for him.
Yeah, we get it. We get it, Gabe.
He sucks.
Gabe.
But his father makes music, and yesterday he celebrated his debut. And we're playing his music in his break. Yeah, that's what you listen to. He was also around here, his father. He's already left us because I think I don't think he lives in Cologne, so I think there's some train problems as well today, so yeah.
If people at home want to look up the music that we've been playing, is there a way for them to find him other than knowing his name is Moondriver, the name of the artist?
I'm honestly not sure. I guess I should figure it out. I think the name...
Artist is Moondriver, guys. Moondriver.
I mean, if you look up the name, you might be able to find it, but
soon,
yeah, I can get some info
soon
about
on Spotify.
it. Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're going to take a couple minutes, and by the time that we come back, it is time for the absolute last best of 3 of the day. Reynor, Clem, the rematch for all the marbles. We'll see you guys in a bit.